Hey, this is Pizza Dude Man with more subscriber questions. Our first question today comes from Internal Inferno. If Masahiro Sakurai passed away before development of Smash 5, do you think that would affect the game drastically? It's hard to say. I mean, originally when Sakurai said he wasn't going to do Brawl, Nintendo's plan at the time was to remake Melee with online playability. But I think if Sakurai was actually gone, even then it'd be hard to say. I don't think Nintendo would want to drop the series, so if there was somebody at the company who was really passionate about it, they might let that person pick it up and make a Smash game. But even if that were the case, I bet that as a tribute to Sakurai, they would try to make the gameplay as similar as possible, so I don't think the game would be changed drastically. Musamania27 asks, have you ever had to deal with fights in your teaching career? I work at the elementary school level, and I tend to think of that as something where you have to worry about that less than like at the middle school level. Me personally, I've never had to worry with fights. If we're actually talking about like physical fights, like kids beating each other up, I've never had to worry about that. But I'm also only into my third year of teaching, so there's plenty of time. Nathaniel Best asks, if you ever got big enough to sell merchandise, what kinds of things would you sell? I do like the idea you write here of selling official Pizza Dude Man fedoras. That'd be kind of funny. Oh, I'd probably do the basic stuff, shirts, and then I would do really weird specific stuff to me, like pizzas. Can't you just see you getting an official Pizza Dude Man pizza? That'd be amazing. Ridley Crade 187 asks, which 5 Marvel and 5 Capcom characters would you add to Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3? For Capcom characters, I mean, I still think that the biggest, strangest thing in any video game roster ever is that MVC3 doesn't have Mega Man. That bothers me so much. So I'd add Mega Man right away. After that, it might be cool to see some of the classic characters they cut. The first one to come to mind for me is Captain Commando. And then after that, I think Capcom actually has a really nice roster in MVC3, so I actually would like to see more Street Fighter characters because there's just so many good ones. I kind of like this thing they have going where they have Ryu for Street Fighter and Chun-Li for Street Fighter 2 and then Crimson Viper for Street Fighter 4, so I think they could continue that pattern. I'm thinking like, they could have Nash from Street Fighter Alpha. And then as for Street Fighter 3, I know the poster child is Alex, but I always really thought Gil would fit really well into Marvel vs. Capcom. So I'd like to see Gil. And then you can have a Street Fighter 5 character. I think of the new Street Fighter 5 characters, the one that would fit into MVC would be Necalli. Maybe that's just me. But I'd also really like to see M. Bison return to MVC. So, I don't know. As for the Marvel side, I would go with Black Widow, Thanos, Cyclops, Daredevil, and then personally, my favorite Spider-Man villain is Dr. Octopus, but a lot of people like Venom, so I'd be fine with either one of those. Lord Genesect asked, who is your favorite and least favorite DLC character in Smash 4? For me, I guess it's more objective, at least in my mind. My favorite DLC character is Mewtwo because I really believe that Mewtwo was the most deserving character to be DLC. Like a unique Smash Brothers character that was cut and is still a very iconic Pokemon and an iconic Nintendo character. Whereas my least favorite DLC character is Roy. Because why do we have Roy when we already have Marth and Lucina? It's redundant in my opinion. Although they did do a good job of making him more differentiated. But still, he's my least favorite. Super Mario Fan 03 asks, if you were ever to do roster critiques for Smash 5, would you prefer me to make the roster or my old friends, if you know what I'm talking about? I would prefer that you do it. I want to see your ideas and your thoughts. Chicken Crispies asks, do you prefer 3D or 2D Mario platformers? Boy, I really like them both. But I guess if I had to make a choice, I would prefer the 2D Mario platformers. Classy Polar asks, if SSB5 had a story mode, what bosses would you like to see? Oh boy, just from the top of my head, King Boo, maybe the head Snowmad or whatever Donkey Kong villain they have at the time. Goma, I think would be pretty cool. Kracko or Wispy Woods. some other big Pokemon, like when they did Rayquaza, like Giratina would be scary. Probably something from Kid Icarus Uprising, actually. Maybe Hades? Maybe something else, maybe just Thanatos. Dr. Eggman in a mech. Kraid from Metroid. And I guess that's about it that I can think of at the top of my head. Ultra Caden asks, of all the characters on the Heroes of the Storm roster, which character looks the coolest? Well, okay, let me pull up a picture really quick. Personally, I'm going to say Greymane, Lord of the Worgen. He looks pretty awesome. Smash Brothers 2009 asks, what do you think is the greatest animated sequel of all time? The first thing that came to mind was Shrek 2. Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 are also really good contenders, I think. Yeah, I guess that's it. 8-Bit Dai asks, have you ever seen or played Rivals of Aether? I've never even heard of Rivals of Aether. I'll have to check into it. Here's another one from Musomania. Ever watch Kuroko no Basket? If so, what are your thoughts? Unfortunately, once again, I have to give a no answer. I have never seen Kuroko no Basket. Actually, I've seen like one clip from Kuroko no Basket. It looked pretty cool. Ridley Crade 187 asks, who's your favorite Spider-Man enemy? I think I actually already answered that. It's Dr. Octopus. So I'll answer another one of yours, Ridley Crade 187. Top 5 favorite Disney movies. In no particular order, Lion King, Aladdin, The Incredibles, Up, and WALL-E. Here's another one from Chicken Krispies. Who is your favorite comic book hero and favorite comic book villain? You know, it's funny. I tend to think of myself as a Marvel guy, but when I think of my favorite comic book hero and comic book villain, it's Batman and the Joker. Smash Brothers 2009 asks, who's your favorite child units in Fire Emblem Fates? Dwyer, and then I guess Mitama, Asugi, yeah. To go with that, Ultra Caden asked, who is your favorite Fire Emblem unit of all Fire Emblems you've played? The only Fire Emblem games I've ever played through from beginning to end are Fire Emblem Awakening and Fire Emblem Fates, which I know is going to piss off somebody, but that's just the truth. In any case, for me, it's a tie between Long Q and Henry from Fire Emblem Awakening. Classy Polar asks, do you have any plans for children? If so, what are your top 3 boys' names and top 3 girls' names? Growing up, I always thought I would have children, but as I've gotten to, be an adult, I don't have any interest in having children yet, at least, and I'm just not sure how I feel in the future yet. But if I were to have children, me and my brothers, Seth and Adam, were all named after religious figures. So I think I would want to continue that with names that I pick. And when I was growing up, I didn't know very many other people named Isaac. So I really liked how unique my name was. That it wasn't like, oh, Josh, where it's like, oh yeah, I know all these Joshes. It felt really unique having the name Isaac. So my top 3 boys' names would be Tristan, Noah, and Abraham. I totally want to name a kid Abraham. As for girls, I think I would go with Esther, Eve, and Diana. I accidentally missed Bobby Lopez's first question, so I'll answer 2. First one, if you could get a sequel to any video game, what would it be? If we're talking about games that never had sequels, I'd like to pick something that I thought was a good concept that could be executed better in the future. And the things that come to mind for me are Pokemon Snap and Amazing Island. If we're going with things that already have sequels and I just want to see a continuation of the series, I would go with Donkey Kong Country Returns. Because we have Returns and Tropical Freeze, I want them to keep going. I don't want Donkey Kong to stop again. And Bobby Lopez's second question was, what game would you be more excited to play, Chain Chomp's Big Adventure or Waluigi's Oil Company Tycoon? I'd actually go with Waluigi's Oil Company Tycoon. That sounds like it could be funny. Here's another one from Musomania27. Top 5 video game universes and why, in any order. Alright, so just speaking on behalf of my own experience as a gamer, the Mass Effect universe, it's big, it's intricate, it has a lot of alien races, and it's interesting to see how they all fit together. Elder Scrolls, it just has such a big collective world. Once again, like with Mass Effect, lots of races and how they interact and how intricate it all is. Pokemon, I mean, that seems like such a fun world to be in. I mean, like, everything is decided by basically what is a sport. You know, there's not real wars. Okay, that's incorrect, because we know in Kalos there was a real war. But now it seems like a really cool world where you catch animals and go on adventures. Everybody does. It seems fun. Hyrule, because once again, I'm getting the same kind of thing every time. I guess I just like these worlds with like a lot of elements in it, and a lot of silliness, and a lot of races and different people. And last one, Super Mario, just because, man, there is so much crazy stuff in the Super Mario world. So, that's it. Very vague descriptions. Those are my 5. Here's a third one from Bobby Lopez. If a Waluigi game were to exist, what kind of game would you want it to be? Honestly, it's really hard for me to think about a Waluigi game existing all on its own without Wario. You know, like a Wario Brothers type of game. I think I'm just going to leave the answer at that. Last couple questions here are both from Ultra Caden. If Super Smash Bros. Was in a style similar to Marvel vs. Capcom, which characters would be on your team? Okay, so in Marvel vs. Capcom, you get 3 characters to your team, so I guess my Smash team would be Little Mac, King Dedede, and Ryu. And our last question, is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Pizza Dude Man, and we'll see you next time for more questions. Bye!